that the half-dragon had kept his promise. He intended to get great wealth in the bonus life. The lion flew quickly over the forest, and Lloyd and Xavier sat, holding onto the fur. The speed was incredible, but judging by the relaxed look of the animal, it did not even make an effort. The skin on the hero's face was fluttering in the wind, and he was afraid that he would become even uglier. The boy frowned and looked away. Xavier still looked beautiful, and the wind only slightly ruffled his hair. The hero, whose face threatened to fly back, was indignant at how the knight looked good in such a situation. The swordsman glanced at him and replied that this was called the law of immutability of the original. The brown-haired man said that these were not the words that should be used now. The lion flew over the water while the nobleman complained about cheating. The Magentano Kingdom, the Jabil region. The companions walked down the corridor, carrying backpacks on their backs. Lloyd frowned and thought that ahead was the one who bore the title of the strongest knight in existence, the Dragon King. Energy was coming from the depths of the corridor. They came out of the tunnel and found themselves in front of mountains of gold, among which stood a castle. The brown-haired man began to drool at the sight of such wealth. The swordsman looked at him and noted that it was surprising that there was such a space underground. The hero narrowed his eyes and saw a man sitting on the couch. They went down and came closer. The guy frowned, but the man did not react. Then Lloyd turned to the great dragon, and he shuddered in surprise. The man clenched his teeth, and the guests stared at him tensely. The host frowned and muttered that he wanted to sleep. The brown-haired man's eyes widened in shock. The interlocutor shook his head and opened his eye to look, but immediately fell back to sleep. Lloyd frowned and thought that he was definitely looking at him. Even if many people came to get membership, how could he just ignore them and fall asleep? The owner was drooling, lying on the sofa. The aristocrat clenched his fist and thought that it was clear from one look that he was a lazy and completely unpleasant person. He clenched his teeth and decided not to act recklessly for the sake of money. A light breeze blew to the sleeping man, and his eyes opened. The protagonist was kneeling and fanning him with a leaf. The dragon squinted and thought in surprise that those who came to get